Beats Planet.
Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. What's happening, man? Doski Woski, Peasky Whiskey. It's Vash Lombardi. Let me fix this microphone real quick. Hold on. Yo. That sounds much better than me. There we go. Best intro on YouTube. Salute to you, man. Salute. Let's run through the chat box, see who's in here. Let's get the shout outs and the roll call going, because I'm gonna be consistent, you know? Even if I somehow get hired by ESPN, I'm still gonna be consistent. I'm just gonna shout out everybody. Maybe not everybody. Not if it's a million people watching. Xavier Cannon, I don't know if you really care about being first, but you probably one of those people that care about being first. So famo, you first. Dustin, Tristan, Andrew, Diggs Gang, Christian again. Okay, it's a Tristan and a Christian. Okay, cool. What's happening? Charles, Link Remy, Colby, Amber again. What's up, baby? Jamar, DJ, Evan, Kavanaugh, Armando in there looking real funny. I might have to get one of my admins on that. Andrew Jackson, yes, we're back like bra straps. What's happening? Josh, Ricky Azuri, what's happening? Ron, Coach Evans up here. Hey, man, look, peep this out. Stop what y'all doing right now. Right this second, right? I want y'all to go to SoundCloud. And I want y'all to pull out those Twitter fingers. I want y'all to type in SIP to Tally. SIP number 2 Tally. Ivan Evans is going to be the name up there. It's my former coach. We had an hour-long conversation about old football life and new football life. So I know a lot of people wanted to get into the back in the day conversation about Vach Lombardi. Hey, there's a lot of back in the day Vach Lombardi conversation in that podcast. Go check that out right now. What's happening, Coach? Not right now. Stop. Not right now. Don't go right now. Listen to this. After this, then go. That's what I meant to say. Blitzkin, what's happening? You've been commenting on all my videos lately. Trust me, I noticed. What's happening, bro? Jamar, Attack Dog 0500, Canada up in here. What's up, Canada? Dustin, Cornelius up in here, veteran. Other Cornelius is up. I got 2 Corneliuses up here, man. They both spelled different. What's happening? That's about everybody. DeQuante, what's happening? Who else platinum? Who else veteran? Who else veteran? Edward Clemens, what's happening? Who else veteran? That's it. All right, cool. Terry Rendon, Cowboy Nation. What's happening? All right, that's it. Brando Jorge from Brazil. What's happening, man? Que pasa, mi hermano? I think that's the same in Portuguese. I know Spanish is different from Portuguese, but I hope that's the same. Listen, y'all. So apparently I really get in my bag when it comes down to these offensive line film reviews. I don't really notice it because when I'm breaking down offensive line, it sounds the same. When I'm breaking down running backs, when I'm breaking down DBs, when I'm breaking down, linebackers. But apparently Vach Lombardi really puts the nipple on the titty when I do these offensive line breakdowns. So I dropped this Isaiah Wynn breakdown. Apparently it's it's top 5 or so. So if you haven't seen the Isaiah Wynn film session, I'm showing off, man. I'm showing off. Go watch that, man. Go share it. Go put it in your local Reddit situations, because Packers Reddit and Panthers Reddit have banned me because people tell me to drop my videos in they Reddit, but apparently they look at that as self-promotion. So I could go on this Tupac type this Tupac type middle finger spitting your camera, F your group type campaign, but we not gonna get into that, okay? So with that being said, let me teach Vach. It's hermano. Hey man, I'll learn later. You gonna teach me Portuguese later. My man though, salute. Peep this out though, y'all. Escuchen es por favor. Listen, the phone lines are lit. 515-739-1285. I can say that number without looking at my screen now. 515-739-1285. Access code 309-104. Okay? You can call in. The number's on the screen. It's in the description. If you have talked up your anytime minutes anytime, you can hit Vach Lombardi on the Snapchat. And you can pull out a question in that way. Leave me a little audio clip. I don't want to read. So if I see what's the color for the written things on if it's blue, I'm not gonna touch it. But all those purple ones, give me an audio clip and I'll put the phone up to the microphone and we'll work that way. So what we're gonna do tonight, it's a general Q&A. And a lot of people, you know, they don't really take advantage of these Q&As, right? You know, for all those people that hop on my Twitter machine, they may hop in the comment section of a video and they may disagree. That's what this is for. That's what this phone number is for. That's what this Twitter is for. Vach Lombardi not hiding from none of y'all. If we disagree, if you feel like I don't know football, if I hate when people be like, oh, you've lost all credibility. Your credibility, man. I don't care about no credibility, man. But if you feel like we need to have a discussion about anything, you can feel free to hop on these phones. You can hop on the Snapchat. Super chats get all my attention. You know, like regular chat, I may jump in there and see what I'm saying? Look at this. See what I'm saying? Cornelius Edwards. See how immediate I jumped to his comment? Big homie, you killing the film breakdown. A little something for the church plate. Salute to you, man. Cornelius Edwards, Cowboys fan. That's a legend right there. That man's a legend up in here. And he's a Patreon sub. That's a legend right there. Who else want to be a legend up in here? So, Pete, let's talk about what's on the table. Then we're going to open the phone lines up to you. Cornelius, you know you can talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. You have the floor. Ronnie Simmons dropped $50 in the super chat last time, so he's still a legend. He's a legend for 5 more shows. Let's see what we got here. So look, we're talking about Leighton Vander Esch, right? I dropped a video on Leighton Vander Esch, and I try to be careful how I do these film breakdowns, right? Because I'm not in these coaching rooms. I'm not in these meetings, right? I can sniff some things out, but I may not necessarily know everybody's assignment, right? But what I do know is technique. I know technique when I see technique, right? And since the genesis of the funk, that's what I'm talking to old people. People on the phone, hang tight. I'll be right there. Let me see who on the phone. See if somebody platinum. K Brar is on the phone. So you hang tight. And 323, hang tight. So since the genesis of the funk, since I was taught football, right? Them old school drills, they line us up in between them dummies, them Oklahomas, them shotgun alleys. General football technique, it was all about keep your head up, use your hands, know what you hitting. That's always been the case, y'all. Keep your head up, use your hands, know what you hitting. You can't hit something you can't see. You know what I'm saying? That's just football rules, right? So if I'm looking at Leighton Vander Esch and I see him throwing his shoulders into people with his head down, leaning, no leverage, no hands. And it's not like I'm hating because it's on the screen, you know? Don't jump in my comment section telling me, Vach, you have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've been around a handful of football programs. And everybody's always pro, keep your head up, use your hands, get rid of whoever the hell trying to block you. That's what the Oklahoma drill is really about. You deliver a blow, you find the ball, you disengage. So when I see Leighton Vander Esch drop his head and throw his shoulder into people and completely miss the ball carrier and whoever's kicking him out, the fullback, sure, whoever's kicking him out, he just totally missed whoever the hell he was running towards. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I'll even give the little homie a shout out. I don't know his name though, so it's not really a shout out. But he was in my comment section. He was all like, "Oh, they call that wrong shoulder, Vach Lombardi. That's what they teaching. They call that wrong shoulder when you blah 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 blah." Now wait a minute, Vach Lombardi knows what wrong shoulder is. But every single program I've been a part of, wrong shoulder is for defensive ends stopping counters. Pull, when somebody's pulling and trying to kick you, that's when you wrong shoulder. Wrong shoulder, you stop the pull and the kick, create the pile, your linebackers clean up. Well, damn it, your linebackers can't clean up because your linebacker's the one throwing the shoulder. Oh, Vach, he's supposed to take up this block so the other guy can run free. Sure, I agree. That was his job to take up that block so the next man run free. But you know how you take up blocks in the National Football League? You use your hands, you disengage, and you go make a play. Somebody say, well, Vach Lombardi, he's not strong enough to be down there to be using his hands with offensive linemen. Roquan Smith does it. Rashawn Evans does it. Rashawn Evans. What'd I say? Rashawn Evans, Roquan. Tremaine Edmonds does it. Tremaine Edmonds nasty with it. Because he's huge. And when you look at Leighton Vander Esch, he's huge too. So what's his excuse? I see Leighton Vander Esch get caught up in trash, right? That's actually something that I look for when I look for my linebackers. How do they navigate within trash? And somebody say, well, does it matter how you navigate? Have you seen Tremaine Edmonds navigate through trash? You see how good Roquan Smith is navigating through trash? Shit, y'all remember Miles Jack? How Miles Jack used to navigate through trash? You ever seen Miles Jack throw his shoulder into somebody? Miles Jack used his hands, keep his eyes up, and find the ball carrier. That's what Miles Jack does. So I don't even want y'all to think I'm hating on Leighton Vander Esch. He just a little too, he a little too wet behind the ears. And people may look at that as I'm hating, but I'm evaluating the prospect. Well, coach, he only been playing for 1 year. Well, that's his fault. I'm evaluating him. That's the answer I was looking for. I'm like, why doesn't he have better hand technique? He only been playing for 1 year. That ain't hating. That's me evaluating the prospect. But if I get to wave my hand and I go, aha, I get it. You just like Leighton Vander Esch. Why can't we just have conversation? Why can't we just call things like we see it? You know? I say something, and it's not like I'm making stuff up. It's on the film when I say it. About you hating. Well, y'all part of the peanut gallery. Like hating on y'all. Look, man, I told y'all two people on the phone to hang on, and I guess y'all thought I said hang up. Don't hang up. Call back. I just had to get this. It wasn't even a rant. It's not a rant. It's just, I don't know. I just get frustrated with stupid stuff sometimes. But y'all call back in 515-739-1285, and y'all about to have the floor. I was just about to give y'all the floor, but y'all ran out of here. Access code 309-104 is on the screen. It's in the description. Call in. Meanwhile, the Rashawn Evans film session is going to go up at some point. Boy, Rashawn Evans so much different than Leighton Vander Esch, boy. So much. Haran M in the comment section says, it is a rant. The title is Leighton Vander Esch fans pissing me off. Not a rant, though. They are definitely pissing me off, but it's not a rant. So somebody's saying this while I'm waiting on the phone line to fill back up. Somebody asked me about mock drafts. Well, in the comment section, Rashawn Evans is not coming out tonight. No. Go watch Isaiah Wynn. And on the title screen, I have April ? I'm just basically letting y'all know what's going to be on the palette for the channel. Life as Vach Lombardi. It ain't easy. Let me tell you why. Because people like to walk up and ask me about scrubs I never heard of before, and I'm expected to give an answer. Now, even though I could always hit them with the, I haven't watched film on that dude, I don't know. It'll probably look a little better if I gave them an answer, right? And with day jobs sometimes getting in the way and, regular life, sometimes it's hard to make these videos for y'all, man. Making videos ain't easy. Editing videos and all that. Like, I could easily watch film on somebody and tell you what I think about them. But in my line of work, I got to show you. I got to bring evidence. When you in math class, you just can't have the answer. You got to show your work. You know what I mean? So my video, part of, the hard part is I got to come up with an opinion in which I can come up with that in 10 minutes. I can come up with an opinion. The hard part is editing the video in which I'm showing the evidence of my opinion. You see what I mean? That's the hard part. So I got about 10 more videos in me before I retire to other things on the channel. Let me just look on this paper right here. Let me see. I know Rashawn Evans coming, so y'all please leave me alone by Rashawn Evans. Duke Ejiofor is coming. Deron Payne may or may not. We don't know. People kind of pissing me off about Derwin James. I can evaluate DB film a lot better if I had the 22 film. This broadcast view makes it real kind of pissy for me, right? Like, I have an idea of Derwin James. I can scout report my ass off about Derwin James. But I can't show you how he looks deep third when he's off the screen when he's running deep thirds. And that becomes the problem. Now I got to do extra research. Now I got to find more film on Derwin James covering people. Cause y'all know me, I like to show evidence. I like to give you a full idea of the type of player that we dealing with. I want to show you more than one time. I can show you 1,000 clips of Derwin James tackling people. Look at this. Peanut gallery ass statement right here. Say prime time. Look at this. He says, "Vach, you sleep on Derwin James. Vach, you sleep. You sleep. Derwin James is the best safety." How am I sleep? How am I sleep? I just don't feel like doing a film session. I ain't sleep. It's just a lot of work doing this stuff, but it is what it is though. So I'll probably do the Derwin James film session. Now, Nino Brown say money talking BS run the marathon. If y'all can find a way to go fund me $100, I'll make that damn JT Barrett film session. Shit, look, cause where I come from, it ain't a whole bunch of trolls where I come from. Like trolling is some relatively new young people thing that I really didn't grow up with or whatever. So y'all may troll me with the JT Barrett thing. Damn it, how bad y'all want to see JT Barrett? How bad y'all ass want to see JT Barrett? We'll get it done. I need that paper though. I need the bag. I need the scratch. Okay. So let me ask y'all this question. Since we've gone over Leighton, Vander Esch, and April. Time out, April. Let me finish this thought about April. So I got 10 more film sessions in me. I'm gonna do those, okay? Then I'm just gonna be studying. And if I find a player that I feel like, people need to hear what I'm saying about him or whatever, I will make a scouting report. I'll go on Google and I'll pull out my Twitter fingers and I'll find a picture of him and I'll put a picture up of the player and I'll talk about the player. I'll probably give y'all a solid 5 to 10 minutes of talking point, which is a long time. And I'm just gonna scout report people that I don't feel like doing film sessions on, because I gotta study. I'm going to the draft in Dallas. So I feel like if I'm going to be Vach Lombardi in Dallas with all the draft fans in Dallas, it's going to be a lot of people asking me about Jeff Jefferson from obscure state. They're gonna be asking me about a lot of scrubs, and I just want to be well equipped to to deal. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be researching that. I'm gonna be doing player ranks. Okay, can we get a sudden video? Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. Tell them, Coach Evans, I think you on to something. I might just drop the Derwin James video in the Patreon. I might make it Patreon exclusive. I think that's an amazing idea. Because with the Patreon, I can kind of finesse that however I want to. You know what I mean? I can just kind of, talk in whatever way I can talk in. Like the presentation doesn't have to be perfect. I can just make that exclusive. I'm going to put it on the Patreon. There you go. Derwin James Film Session is going to go on the Patreon. Damn it. And everything else is just going to go up on the channel live. So that's what we're going to do about Derwin James. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive. Salute the coach for the idea. I'm going to do position ranking videos. I know y'all love that. Not many people have credit cards, though. Yeah, but Walmart got gift cards, though. Easy peasy. Put $1 on that Walmart card and run that thing through that Patreon. What was I about to say, y'all? What was I about to say? Because y'all keep cutting me off in this damn comment section. Scouting reports. I'm going to do scouting reports. I'm going to do position rankings, and I'm going to do mock drafts, okay? Hey, Miss Jackie Smith. I'm doing good. So with these mock drafts, I got this fan drafted app. Shut up, Amber. I got this this fan drafted app. So what I'll probably do with that is and y'all seen me, run the fan drafted app or whatnot. What I'll probably do with that is I'll probably drop 32 videos. Every team is gonna have its own individual mock draft. You know what I mean? That'll be some pretty cool content for y'all while I'm studying or whatnot. And then I'll probably do one big long mock draft. It'll be a first round mock draft. One and only. I don't do a whole bunch of mock drafts 1.0, 2.0. It's 1 point only, damn it. And hey, if you don't know what the fan drafted mock draft app is, take a look. Mock draft simulators give you unreal results like this. Vash Lombardi uses the fan drafted app. I can come on here and I can build my own mock drafts. We go Josh Rosen, #1, and we go Quentin Nelson, #2. I can build my own big board with Quentin Nelson on the top of it because I feel like he's the best player in this draft. Sue me. I can do player rankings. I can move guys all up and down this thing if I want to. But the most fun that I have is using the live draft where I only use one team. Get the Giants, and we're going to go 4 rounds, and let's see. So we got Josh Rosen with the #1 overall pick. I'm the New York Giants. Say I want to mix things up and take Minkah Fitzpatrick, #2. And then we move on with the rest of the draft. Say in the second round, I want Will Hernandez to save the New York Giants. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. I can have hours of fun doing this just on my phone and not getting fired at my day job. It's the fan drafted app, man. It's available on the Google Play Store. Type it in just like that. Fan drafted. And I'm Vash Lombardi, man. Salute. Yeah, man, I'm getting Hollywood, bro. I got ads and shit. I got commercial breaks. It's dope, man. So, peep this out, man. I got a Snapchat in here from a man in Canada, Attack Dog 0500. Fifth Dan. He's like the fifth Daniel. That's a friend of this show. Salute to Canada. I'm about to play his Snapchat. If I can open my Snapchat app. Also, y'all, the phone lines are open. We had 2 calls, but y'all just dipped out, so sorry for y'all dipping out. But 515-739-1285 is the number. Access code 309104. We're going to put Canada up to the microphone and see what the hell Canada talking about. Let's see what Canada talking about. What up, Canada?
But quick thoughts on the two Georgia running backs, Nick Chubb and Sony Michel?
Well, Daniel, thanks for the snap, bro. How dope would Nick Chubb be if he never broke his legs, man? How elite would Nick Chubb? Y'all remember Nick Chubb from like 2 years ago? Cause like Nick Chubb came out elite, then he got hurt, and then everybody was like, "You should go ahead and get drafted." But he came back for another year. He just played anyway. Nick Chubb was about to be amazing, man. It was about to be Georgia was about to be running back you because it was gonna back to back Gurley, Chubb, Michelle. It was about to run it just like that, fam. But he's clearly a different guy, man. He's clearly a different guy. If Nick didn't get hurt, he would be in that conversation around. Excuse me. He would be in that first round conversation. He might be after Saquon, before Geis, before Jones, before Kerryon, right around that area. But Chubb was nasty, though. But it seems like he lost his change of direction at some point. And I don't know if that came down to just the confidence on his leg or whatever. But, he transitioned into a one cutback. His partner in crime, Sony Michel, is also that type of back. But Sony, it's funny about those two guys right now that I think about it. Sony looks like the more athletic guy, but at the combine, Nick had better numbers. Kind of strange, right? Kind of strange. Sony Michel really didn't catch a bunch of passes this year. He caught like 9. I mean, like last year he caught like 22. Year before he caught like 25. But he caught like 9 passes this year. And I'm thinking that he didn't catch as many passes because third downs he was, he was more so more a part of the run game than just coming in to catch footballs and get right back out the game, So Sony Michel is talented. I see a lot of, and I don't do player comparisons, but I see a lot of DeMarco Murray in Sony Michel. Completeness. I like completeness. You can run, you can catch, you can block. Nick Chubb clearly lost a step, man. So, I don't really have a good idea what Chubb will transition to. I don't know what his next level play is going to be like. I got faith in Sony Michel, but I do feel like people are overrating the shit out of Sony Michel. I like Sony Michel. I think he's kind of clumsy, though. I think his vision could use some work. He's very, like I said, like when you watch Ronald Jones and you watch Kerryon, right? You see how they navigate through the trenches. Like they both have vision in different ways. Kerryon has more of a slower, I don't do player comparisons, but like a Le'Veon, slower, let me figure it out, then I'm going to hit it. Slow to it, blow through it type of deal. Ronald Jones' feet don't stop moving. And he'll hit a hole, and that hole will close up, and he'll turn, and he'll hit another one. Sony Michel ain't like that. Sony Michel is we got a pre-read, and I'm going to look backside to see if the cutback is there. If not, we just going to keep pre-read. If pre-read ain't there, we gonna cut backside, and that's it. So, out of the two Georgia backs, I like Sony a little better than Chubb. But there are some peanut gallery cats out here that'll try to have you believe that Sony Michel is a first round back. Some of these peanut gallery, I think I saw somebody that had Sony Michel like number 1 or something. And I just want to be y'all hero, man. I just want to be, everybody should have a hero. Like John Wick is my hero. I look up to John Wick. Every time I go to the shooting range, I think I want to be like John Wick. I feel like people like these draft fans that don't really have a clear direction and they just listen to whoever. Beanie Siegel said, if you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. And a lot of these casual football fans will just listen to the peanut gallery just because they're the peanut gallery. Man, I'm reading USA Today, Sports Illustrated, and they got Sony Michel as a first round back, better than than these guys. Next thing you know, you walking around saying Sony Michel is just as good as Saquon Barkley. You walk around saying stuff like that, you know? I hope to be y'all hero, man. Not necessarily y'all's hero, like you individually. Not y'all's as hero. But if you're somebody that doesn't know football very well, and you may come to my channel and you be like, "Yo, Vach, I learned something," that means a lot to me. A lot of people found offensive line boring before I started talking about it. Now now people request offensive line videos. My man's Waldo, Patreon sub. Yo, Vach, can you do more offensive line videos? I want to learn. That means a lot to me. But anyway, speaking of offensive line, man, what y'all think about that Isaiah Winfield? What y'all think? What y'all think? Sushi817 said, I learned something. Hey, man, that make me feel all warm inside, dog. I can roast a marshmallow on my stomach. How warm that make me feel inside, man. You saying, yo, Vach, you learned something. That's the coaching side of me, man. I love that. But did y'all see that Isaiah Wynn film session, man? I say this to say, I'm not a guru though. Don't start that. I say this to say, comment section. Let me ask y'all a question. Chat box. Because don't nobody want to call in tonight. Don't nobody want to show no love on the phones. They don't want the phones to blow up. Rank these interior offensive linemen. Quentin Nelson, Will Hernandez, Isaiah Wynn. I've seen some opinions out there. A couple opinions make my back itch a little bit. I say, I want to know what y'all got to say. Go in the chat box. Go in the chat box and rank them 1 to 3. 1 being the best, 3 being third place. Nelson, Hernandez, and Wynn. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about that. Let me scroll up and get into some of these comments real quick, since nobody wanted to jump in the phone. Let's see. Hey, Vach Geis is second back in his draft. I don't know. April. I'll let you know in April. Offensive line may be my favorite position. Okay. Yo, Vach, talk about the Cowboys. What about the Cowboys? What you want me to say? They were the star. Dallas, Arlington. The draft is in Dallas. I'll be going. Brown Super Bowl in 2 years. Slow down, partner. That sounds like Cowboys fans that claim Romo was on the level of Drew Brees. Romo was elite. So I mean, we're not gonna get in that conversation. That's a whole other show. But Tony Romo was definitely elite. So don't start that shit. Vach, when you think Isaiah Wynn is gonna go? First round, probably. I hope Isaiah Wynn go first round. Like, let me just help y'all out real fast, man. Something that you need in the National Football League, and there's not a lot of it, is good offensive line play. So you see guys like Quentin Nelson, Isaiah Wynn, Will Hernandez, James Daniels, Billy Price. You see these guys, and there's not a lot of good offensive linemen in the league. You just can't say, oh, we'll just get Will Hernandez in the second round. We'll get Isaiah Wynn in the second round. He's a guard. Well, guys like Zach Martin have made it really easy for interior linemen to come out here and get paid. Guards getting paid nowadays because you need your whole offensive line. We live in an era where Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald is on the same damn D-line. Okay? That's the type of era we live in. So you just can't say, oh, we just got one guard. We just going to roll with that. No. You need your whole offensive line to be stacked because across the board, defensive linemen in the league are better than offensive linemen as a whole. So you need as many offensive linemen as you can get. So all this Isaiah Wynn second round talk, all 3 of those guys going first. At different parts, but all 3 of those guys are going first. First round. Get them when you can. Vach is the GOAT. Salute. Can Wynn play left tackle in the National Football League? That's a Cleo Lombardi Vach Stradamus question. I don't know. We'll have to see. What do you think about the Allen Hearn signing? It's cool. That's all I got. I touched on that last live stream, I believe. So go watch that. That talking in the helmet thing was hilarious. Why, thank you. That was actually my production team that had the microphones plugged up to the helmet, so salute. Wynn is nice. Do you think he handles elite ends or go back to guard? I think he's going to be a guard in the National Football League because that's where people project him to go because of his arm length. You know, like teams, you know, when teams are projecting these offensive linemen, they're basically saying how would they play against NFL talent. So if you play against a guy like like Myles Garrett who has tree trunks for arms, they're trying to put your arm length against Myles Garrett's arm length. You know what I mean? Now that's not to say Will Hernandez can't play tackle because he probably can, but he can also play tight end. He could also play linebacker. It just depends on where you want him best at. You know, so he probably can play tackle, but these teams feel like he's best at guard, so we're gonna run with that. I'm only responsible for Georgia Bulldog Isaiah Wynn. Everything else is up to the league, man. What up, Vach? What up, Darrell? Cooling. This live stream ain't gonna be too long, I see. So look, we looking at the rankings. I got Nelson Hernandez win. Vach, do you think you could coach a team to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Hey man, give me a squad and let me shop for the groceries a little bit. Give me about 4 or 5 years shopping for the groceries. I can get us to a Super Bowl. Don't believe me? Just watch. Let me get back to where I was going, man, because this thing took me back to the bottom. So let's see. Hernandez, Nelson win. There are some people that feel like Will Hernandez is better than Quentin Nelson. That's a rough one. Canada says Nelson Hernandez win. Like the Win film, but I still like Hernandez a little bit more. And I can't be mad at that. Some people like these imposing offensive linemen. Vach Lombardi, even though I feel like Win may be the better offensive lineman, my personal preference is I like these mean, mauly, give me your Jello, your fruit cups, your girlfriend, your lunch money offensive lineman. I just love that. These Debo type offensive linemen. Nelson win Will. Nelson win Hernandez. Rather Hernandez or win, but win is a savage. You don't like Quentin Nelson? Don't make me do a follow-up video on Quentin Nelson, man. Don't play with me. Yeah. That's strange. J Farm D got Hernandez win, then Nelson. I might need you to explain yourself, partner. So, yeah, man, I mean, it shouldn't be too many differing opinions here, man. I think Quentin Nelson is the clear-cut guy. I think your discussion comes from Isaiah Wynn and Will Hernandez, but I don't know, maybe that's me. Browns are going to the toilet bowl. Vach, on paper, who is better, LA Scam or the Eagles? I guess that's the Rams or the Eagles. I don't know. Who knows? It depends on the locker room and continuity and coaching and all that. It's a lot of stuff to figure out. I feel like technique and versatility is key. Is the offensive line key? Wynn can play all 3 positions well. Versatility is cool, but it ain't got nothing to do with me when I'm ranking people. It ain't got nothing to do when I'm ranking people. If you are a decent guard, tackle, and center, opposed to an elite guard, I'm just going to take the elite guard, plug you in, and just leave you at guard. Position flex is not always a good thing. Yeah, we got 41 minutes in. We ain't going to be too much longer. But let's see. I do agree that it does depend on the scheme. Even though I think all these guys can play anywhere, Isaiah Wynn will work really well in a zone type scheme, and Will Hernandez will move people from point A to point B beyond their free will. So yeah, I guess it does depend on scheme. Lael at tackle or guard? Tackle. He's more valuable at tackle. Draft a guard. let me Vash just like the neck roll. Vash like him taking people lunch money. Shit. Yeah, man. Vash ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's on the screen. We got a call in here. Let's see what Platinum called a G from Miami. What you talking about? What's happening, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Dosky
Man, I was just calling. Yeah, I was just calling, just talk about some of the draft traits.
G from G, hold on, time out, G, hold on, wait, time out. In the comment section, chicken witty ams, whatever that means, chicken witty, whatever that means. He says, I lost my virginity today. I'm so happy for you, man. Hey, man, call in and tell the story, bro. We'll turn this thing to Vach's voice just for you, man. But go ahead, G, my bad. What you got for the show?
About his voice, but I was just calling about some draft trade scenarios and what you think, man. I was watching a NFL, not watching, I was listening to NFL podcast, and the Peanut Gallery was talking about the Giants' interest in Bradley Chubb, and it was like, should they draft Bradley Chubb at number 2, or should they trade down because how they traded Jason Pierre-Paul? So I was just asking if you have any input on that, or if you could see any trade scenario. I've seen trade scenarios with like Arizona moving up all the way to get Josh Rosen. I see some trade scenarios with Miami moving down and getting Derwin James. So, like, what's your input on these trade scenarios?
My man said he didn't pull out. He was nervous. Well, you better get up out of there. So I think number 2 is way too early to be drafting Bradley Chubb. That's just my opinion. I like Bradley Chubb, but I think 2 is a bit too high. As far as trading out of that spot, man, it's really rough. It's really rough to predict people trading out of a spot because it's not up to you. It's easier to say, oh, I'm at number 2, I'll give up this much to go to number 1, because teams always want picks. But it's hard to say, hey, I'm number 2 and I don't like where I'm picking at. Anybody want to give me picks so y'all can come, pick where I'm picking at? So I think what the Giants want to do is they would like for one of these quarterback needy teams to sell the farm to come up and get a quarterback. What I think these quarterback needy teams are gonna do is they're gonna play some poker and call that bluff, and they just gonna let they're just gonna let the Giants hang in there in order for them to take a sweeter deal. Example: if I'm Arizona and I'm rushing to go get the number 2, you can hold me up. I want 4 first-round picks to get the number 2. But if I'm Arizona, I'm gonna lay back and chill. I'm gonna go, man, I don't want your number 2. But when that time starts to tick down, and now you looking, okay, well, do we draft somebody? Do we do this? Do we stay here? Now that decision is in your face. Now at some point you're gonna go, all right, y'all, I'll take a 1, a 2 2s and 2 3s and 2 4s, and we'll just call. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So
do you see my bad. Do you see a trade scenario involving Odell at draft night? Now I know it's not like very realistic that they're gonna trade him, but like, what do you think? Like Odell to the Browns? Like, I don't know. I think Jarvis Landry was pitching for him on Twitter. So you think that's a call the Giants might entertain, low key?
If I'm the Browns, I still got what, $50 million to spend. What my man Chris Tucker say? $50 million. Go get Odell Beckham. Odell want what 20? Give him 20. You still got 30 left. And you about to draft a quarterback that's going to be cheap for 5 years, man. I wouldn't mind. Let me see. If I'm the Browns, I give up all my 2nd and 3rd round picks. I'll keep 1 and 4 though, because what's gonna happen if the Giants gonna end up with all them 2nds and 3rds. That's like what, 4 picks. Then they gonna trade out of 2 and get even more picks. If I'm the Giants, that's what I would do, and that'll make the Browns do that, because the Browns ain't gonna come up off 1 and 4 for a player that you don't want, that you don't really want to pay really neither, and he just got knocked out, and he just snorted cocaine off of this white woman or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of things that gives you leverage in that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not gonna give up 1 and 4. I'm gonna take Sam Darnold, and I'm gonna take Saquon Barkley at 4. But I'm gonna give you all these 2s and 3s, and I'm gonna take that money off your hands though. That's what I would do.
Well, what do you think of the what the Rams are doing right now? Like banking in, basically cashing in, because like coming from a Dolphins fan, like Sue's contract is ridiculous. And I see they signed him to 1 year. So you think it's like a boom or bust kind of thing, you know, for the next 2 years? Let's see how far that. It looks like they're trying to make the 2015 Broncos like.
So the problem with the Broncos, the problem with the Giants, the problem with what the Rams are doing is that when you tie all this money into loose ends and miscellaneous people, you still got to have money to pay your own at the end of the day. So you look at the Giants, and they about to just say, man, we just going to have to pay $17 million in dead money for JPP, and we still overpaying Olivier Vernon. You know, snacks eating us up. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of stuff that the Giants got going on. They could easily say, well, let's transition to a quarterback, but we still paying Eli. So the price at quarterback ain't gonna be cheap. Plus Odell Beckham want $20 million. Brandon Marshall on your books. So when you start to paying all these people, you better have a plan because it starts to add up after a while. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not mad that the Cowboys sitting back chilling. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
At this point, does like quarterback really make sense for the Giants? Because like
absolutely.
I'm looking at it in the sense of like the Eagles just came off a Super Bowl, and like the Cowboys are still competitive. 2 years ago they were 11-5, and the Redskins got Alex Smith. Like, do the Giants really want to set themselves back with getting a rookie quarterback? I know they say Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold are like day one starters, but like that O-line is just horrendous. And Josh Rosen, the type of quarterback he is with that O-line, wouldn't the safer pick be like? I mean, obviously the safer pick is get Quentin Nelson and call it a day, which I wouldn't mind, but that would drive New York insane.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you got to draft quarterback. I'm not a big fan of the term positional value. I feel like it only applies for quarterbacks. But this whole defensive end is better than running back thing. I'm pro take the better player. But I think positional value only matters with quarterbacks because you don't want to be in quarterback limbo. Quarterback limbo is terrible because what's going to happen is if you don't draft your quarterback of the future, because look, let's be real, man. The Giants aren't a bad team. They had a bad year. So when you got a good team and you move up that high, get your quarterback so you won't have to do this again. So you won't have to be that terrible again. So get Eli, get a guy and put him behind him. Let's just say Josh Rosen. Let's sit Josh Rosen so you can be set for your next quarterback or whatever. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in limbo. Like teams like, okay, how about this? You're a Dolphins fan, right? Aren't you a Dolphins fan?
Yeah.
So I think the Dolphins I think y'all are real close to a quarterback limbo. I don't know how you feel about Tannehill, but Tannehill is just good enough to keep y'all from picking top 5. Or from picking top 3, but he's good enough to get you 9 or 10 wins. He's not gonna get you to a Super Bowl, but he's good enough to not get you like top 3 picks or whatever. That's limbo. That's when you stuck. You don't want to be there. You don't want for Manning to retire and you don't have a young quarterback, but you won 8 games, so you can't draft one. So now you got to get Teddy Bridgewater or something from free agency, and he'll win you 7 games. That's limbo, and that's how teams end up terrible for decades.
I mean, the thing about it is the owner said that he wouldn't pass up on a once in a generation quarterback, and probably besides Sam Darnold, I don't really see them as once in a I consider once in a generation, like, you have no questions nor concerns. Like, Andrew Luck had no questions nor concerns. And probably the closest after that was Carson Wentz, but he did have questions about his college scheme and the level of competition that he plays. But with let's say Josh Rosen, who I consider the safest of the quarterbacks, or at least the one that's the least of the project to work with, my thing is durability and the way he is in a pocket. Like, why would you put him in a offensive line like New York? You get what I'm saying? It's like basically like Luck and what's going on. Because the Giants have, I say, after the Colts, I say the Giants probably have the second most holes on their team. The offensive line play is mediocre. They just got rid of Jason Pierre-Paul, and I'm not even a Giants fan. I'm just saying what I see at the moment. So my thing is, like, why wouldn't they just call it, just get Saquon Barkley or something like that, and focus on the rest of the draft towards having a defense? Because Landon Collins, Eli Apple, all those young guys, I think the Giants have always been their two Super Bowl team. Their two Super Bowl runs have always been powered by their defense. Eli is a different monster in the playoffs, but Eli is gonna basically the whole entire season until it gets to the last playoff. So I feel like, why don't they try to, like, build that defense back to what it is? Because I understand what you mean about quarterback limbo. Cause that's how I feel about Ryan Tannehill. But even with besides the durability concerns with Tannehill, I thought he was a good 9 to 10-ish quarterback, get you around that area. But it is that our team never does good with drafting defense or offensive line. So I feel like that could low-key happen to Josh Rosen, where even though he's the safest pick, they still might find themselves in quarterback limbo because that offensive line, and just that they have no running game.
Let me make this point, and I'm gonna let you go so we can get to the next caller so we can wrap this show up. Let me just make this point. The Eagles, I don't care nothing about Jay Ajayi. Like any defense can shut down Jay Ajayi. I don't care nothing about Michael Bennett. Cowboys gonna have the best offensive line in the league. Zach Martin will whoop Michael Bennett. I don't care nothing about Michael Bennett. They gonna have Carson Wentz for the next 15 years, and that pissed me off. We got to deal with Carson Wentz for 15 years. So now look, Carson Wentz may not be Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, whatever. But he good enough. He good enough to win you ball games. I think franchise quarterback is most important. When it comes down to the Giants, if they hang in there and draft Josh Rosen and Josh ends up being good and I got to deal with him for the next 15 years, I'll be pretty pissed off. If they I would much rather the Giants get Saquon Barkley than Josh Rosen. I can deal with Saquon. I can't deal with high level quarterback play. So if they trade out of that pick and they end up with 5 2s and 6 3s, I don't care. But if they hang in there, and get Josh Rosen, I'll be pretty pissed off. G from Miami, it was a great call, man. Thanks for calling, bro.
You too, man.
Yes, sir. Sam Pena say, Vash, don't laugh at Michael Bennett. He's a monster. Zach Martin is good, but they both will have plays where they take each other's lunch money. Let me tell you something, fam. Let me tell you something. When you invest money in offensive line, you're not really afraid of offensive line like that. Now we had to patch up some spots. That's why I feel like Dallas need to go ahead and draft Will Hernandez at 19 and just quit playing so much. But when your offensive line is good, I haven't worried about somebody's D line in a long time. Yo, Vaj, what you gonna do about Aaron Donald this week? I don't care nothing about Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's a good player. He'll chase my quarterback. He'll get a sack or two, but he's not going to obliterate my game. Example. Y'all remember Tyron Smith got hurt? And we threw Chaz Green out there and Adrian Claiborne versus the Falcons? I wasn't worried about Dontari Poe. Dontari Poe got like what 1 sack and 2 tackles. I ain't worried about Dontari Poe. Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, they did work on Dontari. Cool. Adrian Claiborne was eating Chaz Green alive. And we all know that if Tyron Smith was in that game, Adrian Claiborne wouldn't be getting off like that. I ain't worried about offensive line. As long as my offensive line is healthy, I ain't worried about nobody's defensive line. If we run into the Rams in the playoffs, I ain't worried about Ndamukong Suh and Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald. I ain't worried about them. You know what keeps me up at night with the Rams? Todd Gurley being so good that it makes Jared Goff good. That's what makes me nervous about the Rams. It's hard to beat good quarterback play. I ain't worried about nothing. Don't worry about Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett, 33. What about Michael Bennett?
Michael Bennett's going to have a hard time staying out of jail.
Michael, Adam, you're right. He's going to have he had to turn himself in today. How you doing, Adam? What's happening?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. I just got a couple things today. I wanted to hear your thoughts about Rashad Penny and Kerryon Johnson. I've been watching a little tape on Johnson. He's like my nice sleeper pick.
I haven't watched.
And hoping to talk a little bit. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said I haven't watched a lot of film on Penny to give you a fair assessment, but we can definitely talk some Kerryon Johnson. Go ahead. Yeah,
right on. I was hoping to get your thoughts on that, and then I'll be talking a little bit about Lamar Jackson and, of course, Josh Allen, because I found a new stat today that's going to show that he's horrible and will fail once again. But back on to Johnson.
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So I'm going to be publishing an article in Rotoballer tomorrow called "No, Lamar Jackson does not throw 49 miles an hour. It's much faster than that." And so ran into an article last year after publishing my model about how quarterbacks succeed and fail, and found that all quarterbacks that throw under 50 miles an hour fail, without a doubt, in the NFL. Nathan Peterman's a great example of this from last year. Throws too slowly and just gets picked off left and right. But Lamar threw 49 on both directions at the combine, and I thought that was bonkers because I've seen this guy's tape. He's obviously a lot more explosive than that. And so it's turning to an article I saw last year where Deshaun Watson threw the same speed, and this guy's like, "No, that's stupid. I'm gonna chart this." And so he went into a bunch of Watson's games and actually actively charted down to like the millisecond how fast his balls were going. And he found that Watson throws closer to 54 miles an hour, and that's really and after that I felt a lot more confident about him going forward, and lo and behold, he played very well. Well, Jackson threw 49. That's something to be concerned about, but I thought no one's done this article yet, so I decided to do it. So over the last few days, I've gone in and charted 3 of his games and one of his highlight tapes, every single one of his throws. And I absolutely have rock solid on film evidence to say that not only does Lamar Jackson not have a noodle arm, but he's got a substantially above average arm. The fastest throw I charted for him was 8 yards out. It was on one of these bullet passes. The end zone was perfectly accurate, and he was throwing at 66 miles an hour. And so that's extremely high for most quarterbacks. He's got way above average arm talent. You guys want to see the rest of these things? I got GIFs, I've got analysis, I got all sorts of different things down to the millisecond level. I went frame by frame here. You guys can check that out. It's coming out of Rotoballer in like 2 days. But I want to talk about this really interesting article that came out on Reddit today by the homie Jaguar Gator number 9. He's the shit. And he basically found another one of these quarterback statistics that I love so much. And he found out that if your yards per carry average is under 7.3, and somebody else is disputing and say it's under 7.7, but I like the conservative estimate here. So if your yards per attempt average, for your quarterbacks is under 7.3, there are no success stories since 2009. And that's not exactly when I think the modern NFL, QB age started. I think that's in like 07. But I think that's a pretty solid sample size. All the way from 09, no one has been successful throwing under 7.3 yards per attempt because they just never developed that intermediate or deep passing ability. I mean, they're too used to throwing screens or dump-off passes or whatever else. And lo and behold, Guess who's under 7.3? It's Josh Allen. Another nail in the coffin here, guys. You got horrible completion percentage, got horrible yards per attempt average. I mean, he barely won anyone. I heard a statistic earlier today that says that he had the equivalent of throwing the ball at the ground against Power 5 opponents. That was his passer rating. And so, I mean, I know a lot of people are really excited about a lot of different things.
Wait a minute.
We're really good. Go ahead.
You say he did. You say he threw the ball on the ground and did what? What you say?
So his passer rating was like a 35 against Power 5 opponents. That's a statistic I heard earlier today. Damn. And that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of pretty much passing the ball to the ground.
Josh Allen fans, don't y'all let Adam Hall come in here and just talk crazy to you. All right, keep going. My bad. Go ahead. Do you think?
No worries. I appreciate you jumping in. I keep getting on too far of a roll. But yeah, I mean, these are just things after things. And so next week I'm going to be coming out with my cumulative thoughts on the matter. I'm going to find all the statistics I can. I'm going to get all of my arguments in a bundle. I'm going to be releasing that into one major article that's going to be going on Rotoballer. And that's just going to be basically running down from a historical perspective, and I'm probably going to I'm going to try to get some tape in there too. We'll see how it goes, just to really show that this guy's prospects at the NFL level are beyond putrid. And if he wasn't like the greatest physical specimen we've seen a quarterback maybe ever, then he would not be even in contention for anything. I mean, I know people are excited about his footwork, his development there. I know people are excited about his rocket arm and everything, but unless he not only breaks a 20-year standard with completion percentage, but breaks a 10-year standard on yards per attempt average, I mean, the barriers keep popping up for this guy, and time after time after time, he's going to have to break the limits. I mean, he's going to have to go Ultra Instinct on the league to be able to do anything. But not even Goku could maintain Ultra Instinct, and so like that's not cool.
Hey man, let me say this though, man. Let me say this. I was having a conversation with some of the homies, man, and I was really trying to explain to them that Josh Allen already has top 5 all-time arm talent. You know what I mean? Like just his arm talent alone is already up there with. And look, when you say names like Ty Detmer, you know what I mean, or like Ryan Mallett or Stafford, or like this is just strictly arm talent conversation. Brett Favre or whatever, Elway, he's up there with those guys already. Yep. He hadn't even thrown the NFL pass yet. Like it's so easy for him, and he's so top tier with just his arm talent that people are totally neglecting everything. I don't even think they're neglecting it. I just think coaches have egos in a way that, hey, give me that arm talent, give me that body size, give me that mobility, and we can work on everything else. You know what I mean? We can figure this out. Because I said in my film session, man, that's what's giving these coaches wet dreams at night, man. Like he may miss a slant or like a hitch or something like that, but he could be on the left hash and throw that thing 40 yards to the right sideline, and that's rare. And he makes it look easy. I don't even know if he knows how to do it yet, but he makes it look easy, man. And that's what's keeping these coaches and scouts up at night. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, we have combine evidence on throwing velocity since like the early 2000s. I mean, and literally no one is better. I mean, he has the fastest fastball that's ever been recorded at the combine, and so that I agree. I mean, if I would probably compare his arm to Favre or Elway, maybe Goats, maybe Baby Goat. I mean, it's possible, but like. A lot of this reminds me of the conversation that I heard in a couple interviews about the GMs that drafted Cobb Bowler back in the, I believe that was his name, back in like 2003. And the guy, just all the red flags in my model, like 46% completion rating, didn't win that many games in college, but had like a rocket arm, could throw 60 miles an hour, like on the radar, and just, checked all the boxes there. But like what the GMs consistently said after he was a failure in the NFL, he also went in like the 20s in the first round, was that they continued to make excuses for the guy. They would watch his tape, and over again they would say, but if only he had a receiver that did this, or if only he had an offensive line that would do this, or if only he had something like my brilliance to be able to make him a better prospect, then he'd be able to thrive. But in reality, when it comes to being the greatest on the planet, which these NFL players are, excuses amount to nothing. And when you have real evidence, like the fact that Lamar Jackson had like the fourth highest drop rate out of all quarterbacks in all of college football's FBS last year. I think he was like 57 out of like 61 people in this chart I saw. Or like 58. I mean, that's something, right? That's something to point to. But when Josh Allen is like in the higher edge of the pack, like he's in the top third of like his receivers are catching these balls, like there are no excuses. And it's not like people aren't trying to change things. I mean, I understand you can work with Jordan Palmer. I can understand you can work with everybody else. But when it comes down to it, this guy has instincts that have been beaten into his head since he was 6. And I don't really see it changing. But I'm going to get into all these arguments and more in this article that's coming up next week. I wanted to bring this new one because I thought it was sweet that we found a new one today. And I'm like, oh, shit, new one. I got to tell you that. So,
you know what people like forget sometimes is people forget that mobility, scrambling, and rushing is a part of the quarterback position. So if you look at Josh Allen, he has elite arm talent, right? But if you look at Lamar Jackson, he has elite athleticism. But people don't seem to factor that into the quarterback equation. You know, with everybody else, they look at all the skills. They add in mobility plus arm talent. But we just seem to forget that Lamar Jackson is going to be one of the most explosive players on your team as soon as he steps on the field, and he can throw. Now, he can't make all the throws. That's just clear. We just understand, right? He can't make every single throw. Some people can, Lamar can't. But if you have an offense where you stick to the throws that he can make, because Louisville's offensive coordinators or whatever, they didn't do him too much favors, man. They just said, hey, yo, Lamar, be great. And Lamar went out to be great. They didn't do too much evolving and coaching with him, right? But if you give Lamar throws that you know he can make, those crossing patterns, give him some picks and screens to throw. Don't really give him too much stuff outside the numbers because his accuracy gets a little weird outside the numbers or whatever. And just let that dude run and be the best athlete on the field. Lamar Jackson could probably be one of the more productive quarterbacks in this class. Yeah.
I mean, so I got one question here for you about QB mechanics and what you think the development prospects are for them. So I've been watching a lot of Jackson lately, and consistently the biggest criticism I see of his game is that he throws this a very narrow base, especially when he's using his pretty solid poise to be able to navigate the pocket. Like, he'll move around, he won't get hit, he'll be able to get the pass off, but his base is consistently narrow when he has an opportunity to be able to expand that base. So do you think that he's going to be able to work on that in the pro level and actually take a step forward? Or do you think that mechanics, for the most part, unless you're like Aaron Rodgers and can sit for a couple of years, do you think that those things are largely uncraftable? Do you think he can widen his base to make himself more accurate?
Most people have like footwork issues like all together. I don't think Lamar Jackson has footwork issues. I just think it's only his base. And when it's narrow, so let me explain this. So when you step into your throw, right? If your base is narrow, of course your first step will be longer than, say, like Sam Darnold, like Sam Darnold has about a shoulder width base. So when he steps, it's not a long step; it's about a foot, and then he brings everything else with him. If you Lamar and your feet so close together, your step is damn near like you throwing a fastball. Like, he got to step wider, like farther. Then he got to bring the whole rest of his body, and that results in overthrows, right? But like on my film session, like I showed, if he just widens it a little bit, because we have the evidence, we have the film. Go watch my video. If he has a good shoulder width base and he steps into it, drags that back foot, follows through, aim just a little bit, he can make accurate throws. He can make them. He just got to work on doing it all the time. And that's part of the quarterback position. When you at pro days and everything's comfortable and everything's cool, you can focus on that type of thing. But when you add a pass rush, when you add the huddle, calling the play before the huddle, when you add reads, when you find the safety, when people start chasing you, that's when stuff goes out the window. So what you got to do is you got to stop thinking and you got to react more, and you get that with reps. You know what I mean? I've seen Josh Allen have perfect technique and still throw that thing to the stands, to the damn student section. You know what I mean? I've seen him hit the damn tuba players with perfect technique. Lamar Jackson's technique goes up and down because it just goes up and down, but you need reps. Nobody's perfect. Nobody comes into the league perfect. And if you do, like Joey Bosa's technique was perfect when he got here, but his dad was in the game, right? Everybody doesn't have that luxury. So Lamar Jackson just got to keep playing. I have a theory that most quarterbacks don't get good till they're 30 because you got to see the game. You just kind of got to see the game for just 4 or 5 years, right? And it's not like you got to learn it. It just got to slow down to you. The game just got to slow down a little bit, right? Like if you catch a football for the first time, it's going to look like a speeding bullet and it might kill you. But if you keep catching it and keep catching it and keep catching it, it's just going to become muscle memory. And muscle memory is what's going to help Lamar Jackson through his passing woes. But that's just me, though. I'm no guru. I'm not Jordan Palmer. That's just little old Vach Lombardi talking.
No, I think that you're pretty spot on. I mean, that sounds a lot like this thing I heard one of the radio personalities in Denver talking about. He was talking with Brady Quinn back when Tim Tebow was coming out, and Brady Quinn had like legendarily great mechanics, and didn't turn into anything, but he had like these super pretty mechanics. And D-Mac asked him, he's the radio personality, he's like, how many times did you have to do that to get it down there? And they were watching Tim Tebow with his god awful mechanics, and he turns to D-Mac and says, thousands. And like he didn't mean like regular thousands. He meant correct thousands. And so if you're not making the right moves to be able to get that muscle memory going, then you're going to be instilling, Tim Tebow mechanics. And I just hope that Lamar gets those good thousands in. I'd like to see him succeed. I'd like to see him prove everybody wrong. That'd be nice.
It'd be all right, man.
But I appreciate your
He has the highest ceiling in my opinion, because you can teach Lamar to get this accuracy thing right. You can't teach Josh Rosen how to run a 4.4. You know what I mean? So, whatever.
Right, true that. Well, thanks for your time, man. If you want to talk about Carry On, I'll be listening, but I'm going to jump back into work. Thanks for your time. Take it easy.
All right, man. Doski, Woski, Peasky, Whiskey, salute. In the comment section, my man Tristan Blake Rhines. Pardon me, Tristan Blake Rhines. Tristan Rhines. Go follow his podcast. I believe it's on the iTunes and the SoundCloud. The Rhines Report. Go take a look at it, because I support the people who support me. So we at an hour 15. We probably going to get 15 more minutes in here that we going to call the weekend. We going to box and boogie. And because I still got a day job tomorrow. Sam Pena, what the hell you want?
Yeah, I hate to do this, but I got to defend Josh Allen just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not a huge
What are you saying,
Josh
Sam
Allen
Pena?
fan.
What are you saying, Sam Pena? I hope you bring facts.
People are beating up on him too much.
Okay.
People are beating up on him too much.
Go ahead.
He's not a first-round pick.
Josh Allen?
Talented. Josh Allen, yeah. Josh Allen is still talented.
He's a first-round pick.
That people get, I'd take him in a second. Here's what I think about Josh Allen.
Okay.
He is incredibly talented, but he's going to take a lot of patience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why he probably won't end up being successful in the NFL, because I don't think teams are going to be patient with him. As Adam just said, what Brady Quinn said, it takes thousands of throws to get it right. And it's going to take thousands of throws for Josh Allen to get it down and fix his problems. But you know what? If he gets to a team that has, say, the Redskins, for example, who have Alex Smith as quarterback, they're kind of in that quarterback limbo stage. They're going to stick with Alex Smith like all teams do for 2-3 years probably. Josh Allen has 2-3 years to work with a quarterback coach.
Time out. Stop. Sam, stop. Be quiet. Sam, stop.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Miss April Staten. Salute to Miss April. She dropped 10 in the super chat. Thank you so much. Hi, Voch. Thank you. I watch games and look at player breakdowns, bull rush and swim moves, how to play in trash and pull cloth moves. Learn from you. A better fan. God damn, boy, look. Miss April Staten says I make her a better football fan, and that means the world to me. I feel all warm inside, Miss April. You can roast marshmallows on my stomach. I feel warm inside, Miss April. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate you for being a Patreon member and dropping in the super chat. I'm just trying to make the world a better place. One at a time. Thank you. Sam Pena, I really do apologize for cutting you off, but super chats are way more important than whatever it was you talking about. My bad. My bad. But keep going on, man. Keep going.
Hey, especially when it's a super chat from the ladies, man. You gotta stop for that.
Sam Pena, you understand, man. Thank you, bro. Go ahead. Keep going.
Anyway, I was just saying that I think people are going on here, and I've heard some people in the Lombardi's draft talk saying Josh Allen shouldn't even be drafted, that he's that bad. And I think that's ridiculous. I think if you're a team that needs a quarterback, doesn't have a great one, and is a few years away from winning, why not take a shot on Josh Allen? Obviously, you don't spend a top 5 pick on him. If Cleveland takes him number 1, Cleveland is just showing why they've been the Cleveland Browns for years. But if you're a team that is willing to put in the patience, why not take Josh Allen in a later round? That makes sense to me. And all these people saying, oh, well, all the statistics show that he hasn't met this certain barrier. Well, listen, there have been tons and tons of people who haven't met those statistical landmarks that have still been successful. Take cornerbacks, for example. For years, the benchmark was you have to run a 4.51. Well, look at cornerbacks like Richard Sherman and Casey Hayward. They ran 4.57, 4.6, and they're locking people down. That's why I don't buy into these statistical barriers, these statistical marks that you have to meet. Instead, I look at the tape. And when I watch Josh Allen's tape, I see a quarterback who is super inconsistent. He's not a terrible quarterback, and he's not a good quarterback either. But he's average, but he has high upside. And so, listen, I'm not saying take him early, but if you can get him later, why not take a chance on him? You know what I'm saying?
So Josh Allen is probably going to be a top 5 pick based off traits alone. I just want to prepare you and everybody else for that.
Nah.
I just want to prepare you and everybody else for that. You can bet your allowance if you want to, and I will gladly take your money. He is a top 5 player off traits alone. Regardless of our opinion, some NFL team is going to risk it all and not pull out, and they're going to impregnate their franchise with Josh Allen. It is what it is. What they got to do is that you got to have a plan for Josh Allen. I'm going to say this and let you go. Move on to the next caller so I can go to sleep. Wait, time out. Let me just. It just depends on do you have a plan for Josh Allen? You know, you just don't bring him in and throw him to the wolves. And if you do, you can't throw the playbook at him. You just can't hand him a rocket launcher and talk about kill this village. You gotta, hey man, if you only good at this combination, these things, what makes you comfortable? Do you feel better running on 3rd and short, or do you want to throw some small option pattern on 3rd and short? You gotta learn, you gotta know Josh Allen like Bubba knows shrimp. Basically, you know what I mean? You just can't come in thinking that this is just any other quarterback prospect, and you got to do what you got to do. But I like Josh Allen. I think he can be successful. He can be successful. It just it just depends on the plan that they got for him. But it is what it is. Sam Pena, thanks for calling, man. Sure. Let me. So what if the Chargers traded up to number 3 to take Josh Allen? Would you be pissed off? You be mad?
You had to go there.
You be mad? That's what I thought. Everybody coming here defending Josh Allen. What if your team picked him? Damn it! Shit. Hell wrong with you. Oh, messed up my microphone. And we got one more caller. I'm not gonna be short with him. we gonna get.
How's it going, my man?
What's that in the 419? Who this?
This is 38 on Twitter. I've been following you for years now.
Who? Wait a minute. Who are you on Twitter?
38. TIR.
38. What's up, man? Hey, it's been a minute.
How you been?
Coolin'.
I know. How you been?
First time calling the show?
Oh no, I called before. I called a couple times. I always enjoyed our conversation. I go on runs at night, and lately I've been having like a little conversation with myself. I wanted to run it by you.
Okay.
It's more about the evaluation process, not necessarily the players.
Okay.
And I think we talk about the mobile quarterback every year. And I kind of got to thinking, like, I think we've seen enough of a trend where the mobile quarterbacks seem to start out faster than the more traditional pocket passers. But I also think that they kind of fizzle out very shortly thereafter. And I kind of have this theory that, you have these freakish athletes who, their entire lives, middle school, high school, college, they're bigger than people. The coach says, hey, if it's not there, take off and run. And they've always been able to take the hits. But at the NFL level, all of a sudden the body starts to wear down. And I think you start to see it. Like, you remember Vince Young, arguably one of the best college quarterbacks of all time. And people forget, he was Rookie of the Year. RG3, I think, Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck. And these guys just kind of fizzle out. And I'm starting to wonder, maybe when we evaluate it, maybe we should kind of see this running type of quarterback as possibly a detriment.
That's a very fair point from you. And I salute that it was one of my people that came up with it. Let me just tell you what happens, bro. What happens is it's I don't really know about your background or whatnot, but in economics class we have this thing called opportunity cost. What are you giving up to get something back? And if you have a quarterback who may be lacking in the passing department, let's say Deshaun Watson. Let's say because people like to call me a hater for this one. Deshaun Watson has limitations when it comes to throwing the football. Well, people say, well, Vash Lombardi, how is he so successful? Well, Nuke Hopkins he helps a lot. Will Fuller being faster than people helps a lot, but also what happens with Deshaun Watson was he was able to buy time. He was able to use his mobility. He was able to get easy third downs with his legs. As a defense, you have to adjust for mobile quarterbacks. You just can't say, "Oh, we just gonna run 8 back and we're gonna rush 3." Well, somebody got a spy. You may need four D linemen to bring a little more pressure. So that's adjusting everything, right? But after a while, your mobility ain't going to save you because the game is still going to be the game. And you're going to have to evolve as a passer. What happens is a lot of these guys don't evolve as passers, right? So even if you look at a situation like Russell Wilson, okay, Russell Wilson, you're coming in, you're a rookie, run game's great, defense great. We're gonna let you scramble for third downs. We're gonna let you buy yourself time with your legs, and you're gonna be successful. But we're gonna take some of these pieces from you, and we're gonna figure you out as a passer. Then we're gonna see what you're all about. Russell Wilson has improved as a passer. I think he's a better quarterback now than he was when he won those Super Bowls. But he's a little less successful now because you see the game. You see what I mean?
Right, and I want to call you back to kind of a flashback. I think, remember Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota? Marcus Mariota, sexy Oregon offense. He's running all over the place. Jameis, more of a sit back and throw it. I was on the Jameis train. I thought that, his personal problems could be fixed. I like him long term. Big, thick guy. Looks like he could stay in the league for a long time. He's not exactly a gazelle. I think year one, right at the draft, you would have came back and you said, look at that. Who do you want now? Marcus Mariota. Oh, man, I missed it. Year two, Marcus Mariota. But if you ask me today, I think I'd rather have Jameis Winston. You're starting to see Mariota get banged up. He kind of is starting to fizzle. I just feel like we see this, like we've seen this story before. And I think that it's one of those things like, I remember watching Lamar Jackson. I'm like, my God. But I also feel like it's like the siren song. It's calling you. It's only calling you to break your heart. Like, am I crazy in thinking this, or I don't know?
No, you are absolutely on. You're on point, bro. Like these, they have to evolve. Players have to evolve. And I see somebody talking about Cam Newton in the chat box. Cam had to evolve as a passer.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Cam Newton, I thought was different.
Okay.
Cam Newton has a thick body. And I thought to myself, I'm like, that dude could take a hit. There were two quarterbacks who ran around that I thought to myself they could take a hit. Cam and Tebow. Unfortunately, I do not think Tebow could throw the ball to save his life. I think his mechanics were atrocious. Cam was the one I thought to myself, it's different with this guy. And I think that it's because of his body type. Like, if you remember back to RG3, I always thought he looked kind of skinny. Like, if you just said, hey, I'm going to show you these players, what position do you think he played? I would have said wide receiver. Yeah. Cam Newton looks like a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Is like I don't feel like what I'm offering you in the evaluation process is a rule. I think it is something to think about in the process. And I think these mobile guys. The thing about them is on Sundays they are going to have that one play where you're going to be like, see, look at that. I mean, remember Colin Kaepernick with that 95-yard touchdown run where you're like, holy smokes, this dude is on fire. Like, they will have those moments. And they will have those really pretty moments. And that's the thing I like about you is we do the film session. We watch the boring play. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to watch, the 2nd and 8. We're going to see him throw a slant pass. And like we want to see that full body of work and not fall in love with these great plays.
Man, this was a great call. And to be fair, if you look at it, Lamar Jackson's probably going to have a lot of early success. I wouldn't be surprised if
why would you not stick him in? Like look at his skill set. Of course you throw him in right away. Like, I think he's the guy. Like he could win you those games. You're telling me, 4th and 5 from the goal line. How many other quarterbacks would you rather have other than Lamar? Like he can make that Superman play. I think you have to play him, right?
Yeah. It just all comes down to. Can you further develop your passing? Because look, you can't beat perfect passing. Like because look, people kind of get sensitive about this, but Tom Brady physically is not a talented quarterback. Physically,
right. You're right.
Physically, like there's some college football player that can out physical everything on Tom Brady, but he knows the passing game, timing, accuracy, opportunity. You don't need, and he's probably gonna play football till he's 45, and he don't get hurt. He gives up those sacks. He falls down because he know he about to eat you up, and that's what you need. That's what you need. Now, honestly, Now, honestly, it takes a while. There's a lot of variables that that gets you that level, because like I said earlier, quarterbacks don't get good till they're 30. Not only do you have to play the game for a while, but Tom Brady been running his own kind of little system. Like, he gets different offensive coordinators, but that's Tom Brady's playbook. Peyton Manning, when he went to the Broncos and they was like, all right, Peyton Manning, here's the new book, and Peyton was like, what you want me to make origami with this playbook or something? We gonna run what I've been running. And even though Peyton Manning was physically trash, he knew passing enough to win a Super Bowl for the Broncos, man. So you on to something.
And again, my concern, and I keep thinking about it, because I always, when I'm drafting a guy, I'm always thinking to myself, who do you want this guy to turn into? And I think the mobile quarterback, I think the goal is, I want you to be Donovan McNabb. You run early, you learn the passing game, and you evolve as a passer.
Great example.
I still think there's a lot of Donovan McNabbs in the world, though.
Great. That's a great example. Because look, though, another example, Mike Vick, like late Atlanta Mike Vick started to fall off a little bit, but Philadelphia Mike Vick figured the pass game out. You on to something. You should call the show more often, man. What the hell wrong with you?
I'm telling you. I've been thinking, I've been going on a run, and I've been trying to hit you on Twitter, and I saw you had. I'm like, dude, I want to see what you have to say about this. You're a straight shooter. If you think I'm BSing, that's fine. If you're like, it's something we need to think about in the evaluation process. Look at their body type. Could these guys take the hits? Yes or no? I think it'll just make us all better evaluators, and I think that's the great thing about your community.
Man, that's one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten, because I've put a lot of work into building this community, and basically what I said earlier, you basically proving my point now. If you have anything you want to say to me on Twitter in long form, because it's hard to put, to put an essay on damn Twitter and think call my show, so let's discuss it like football fans, and we can all become better together. I like what we just did here.
I think we got to constantly tweak the evaluation process, and that's one of the things I do personally. I like the guys I miss. I like to go back and be like, man, look at him again. Like, I was a believer back in the day, Joey Harrington. I thought Joey Harrington was going to be the real deal. And just recently, I'm like, I want to throw on the tape on Joey Harrington. How did I miss this so badly? And it helps me as an evaluator. I think it'd be cool if we did that on a show, during the off season at some point. We're in the middle of July, you got nothing better to do. Like, hey, let's go take a look at some guy I totally got wrong, and let's go back and see where I may have been able to pick up that this guy would be successful or a bust, etc. I think that'd be a cool way to kind of keep the community active during the non-draft season too.
You know what, 38? That would be a fantastic idea. The problem is I don't get guys wrong. I don't miss. So, hey man, this was a very dope, productive call, man. Thanks for coming through, man, shedding some light. You are welcome to come back anytime. I finally got your name plugged in. Next time you call, you platinum. You going to the front of the list, man. Salute to you, man.
All right, dude. I'm looking forward to it. I'll talk to you definitely throughout the draft.
Is there a salute? Productive day today. See how much better the show is when y'all call in? See what I mean? Y'all want to be all shy. Y'all want to let somebody else call in first. See how dope the show is when y'all call in instead of me dibble-dabbling in this damn chat box? See what I'm saying? If I should get Twidarius, I don't know who that is, Twidarius on to debate Eagles and Cowboys. I don't do that. I don't debate. Unless they say something crazy. Oyster said, what about Pittsburgh, Vic? Well, he's old. Everybody can't be Tom Brady level when they get 40, but whatever. Hey, man, this was a dope show, man. Actually, wait a minute. Let me go to my OBS because I'm not done being Hollywood. I got one more ad for y'all. Hold up. Wait a minute. You lose money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Vach Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. Salute. All right. We back like broad straps. Got that out of there. What was I saying? Hey, man, great show. Very productive. Appreciate everybody that came through to listen. Everybody that came through to call. Hit the subscribe button, man. Please hit the subscribe button. J Farm D says, I debated Mark Holmes. Well, Mark Holmes called me out and he thought he was going to whoop me. So I went on his show and I gave him sauce. So that's different. I'm still young and I got a lot of energy. But the Patreon is more important than food and water. Hit me up on Twitter, Vach Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Join my Facebook group, Lombardi's Draft Talk. It's about 4,000 knuckleheads in there just talking about nothing. I'm about to update those numbers real soon. Hit the bell next to the sub button so y'all can know when I'm dropping random ass videos and live streams in the middle of the week, just like this one. Hey man, appreciate y'all, man. I'm grateful. Cornelius, oh, for really the God, Foolish Demon, Rex Smith, salute to Coach Evans for coming through, showing some love, man. Go check out the Sip 2 as in number 2, Sip to Tally podcast, man. Vach Lombardi got a show on there, got an interview on there. We talk about old Vach Lombardi football, old Natchez High School football, man. Go check that out, please. Mo Freeman, Rex Smith, both Corneliuses. Shouts out to the super chat, Cornelius and Miss April. Salute to y'all for coming through. Amber been holding it down up in here for me. I finally got groupie fans. I'm playing. I'm kidding. I'm playing. I'm playing. Jamar Bolden, DMV Dallas, Foolish Demon. Thanks all y'all, man. Adam Hall for calling in. 38 for calling in. G from Miami for calling in, man. Salute to y'all, man. This thing moves because y'all make it move. Cowboys blog. If you're a Cowboys fan, check out my man Joe Rod, man. Salute to all y'all, man. Hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. I'll see y'all in Dallas. Holla. Salute.